So our next topic is biological importance of osmosis. Biological means in living cells. Living cells mainly plants and animals. So in case of plants, osmosis plays very important role in the absorption of water by the roots from the soil. So in case of plants, osmosis plays very important role in the absorption of water by roots from the soil. For example, this is your soil level and these are the roots of any plants. Okay. Now this soil this underground level contains water and some minerals. And in case of plant, because plant is a living cell, so its cell contains some solutions known as cell fluids. And normally these cell fluids have concentrated solutions as compared to water below the soil. Means all the cells of plants contain some fluids known as cell fluids, which are more concentrated as compared to water present below the soil. And the membrane of cell, each membrane of cell act as a semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable membrane means which allows the movement of only solvent molecules and nothing else. So because the fluid inside the cell is more concentrated, so water will flow from the soil towards the roots of the plants, because these roots are also living in nature. Its cells also contain cell fluids, so water will flow from the soil towards the roots, and from the roots it is transported to the every part of the plant. So this is the basic process how the roots of any plant absorb water from the soil. So osmosis plays a very important role in the absorption of water by the roots from the soil. Now, if the water continuously goes inside the cell, then ultimately a condition can occur in which cell may rupture. For example, this is initial cell. After the absorption of water, it can swell up and its wall, or you can say this boundary, can rupture and cell can be dead. So to overcome this condition, farmers usually add fertilizers in the soil, because by the addition of fertilizers in the soil, this water flows at a less rate as compared to its initial rate. So somewhat limited amount of water enters into the cells and decay of the plant, or you can say death of the cell, can be avoided. And one important condition, if the water continuously enter inside the cell will swell up, and this condition is known as hemolysis. Hemolysis, if water enters into the cell, and if the reverse process takes place, because for example this is the cell and we have placed it in a solution in which water from the cell comes out, then cell will shrink, and if shrinkage of cell occurs, then this process is known as plasmolysis. So basically the concentration of the solution outside the cell decides whether the water will enter into the cell or water will leave from the cell. If water enters, then condition is known as hemolysis, and if water leaves the cell, then it is known as plasmolysis. Next three definitions are: what do you mean by isotonic, hypotonic and hypertonic solutions? Three types of solutions are there: isotonic, hypotonic and your hypertonic. Iso means same. If two different solutions have same osmotic pressure, then they are said to be isotonic. Iso means same. If two different solutions have same osmotic pressure, then they are said to be isotonic in nature. Hypotonic, if the solution, or you can say if one solution has less osmotic pressure as compared to another solution, then it is said to be hypotonic. And last, hyper, if one of the solution has more osmotic pressure than the other, then it is said to be hypertonic solution. So there are basically three types of solution: isotonic, hypotonic and hyper. Iso means same. Two different solutions have same osmotic pressure, then they are said to be isotonic. If one of them has less osmotic pressure, then that solution is said to be hypotonic. If another solution has more osmotic pressure, then it is said to be hypertonic in nature. Next, importance of osmosis inside the animals. For example, we human beings and all other animals, basically we are discussing about the human cells. Human body contains RBCs, means red blood corpuscles, or you can say red blood cells. Our red blood cells contain 0.91% of sodium chloride solution. All of the human bodies, human beings have RBCs, and these RBCs means these are cells. They contain cell solution which is known as cell fluids, and the concentration of that cell fluid is 0.91% of sodium chloride solution. Now, if our RBCs comes in contact with some solution whose concentration is more than 0.91, means RBC, for example, it is our cell RBCs, and outside the cell there is some solution. If its concentration is greater than 0.91% of sodium chloride solution, then water will move from the RBCs towards the outside solution. So our RBCs will shrink, and if reverse occur, for example this is again our RBCs and we have some solution whose concentration is less than 0.91% of sodium chloride, then water will enter inside our RBCs. Now our RBCs will swell up. So this condition in which RBCs swell up, this condition is known as edema. Edema. That's why basically this is the basic reason behind the patients who suffer from high BP. They are advised to take not much salt in their diet. ठीक है, because RBCs पहले blood pressure ज़्यादा है means their solutions are more concentrated, and if they take more salt then it is very harmful for their life. So this is basically the biological importance of osmosis in plants as well as animals. Some another examples of osmosis in our daily life is in pickles. We put raw mangoes in salt solution, then the water enters the raw mango and the pickle is obtained. Okay. So next topic is abnormal molecular masses. Abnormal molar masses. Abnormal molar masses. So till now we have discussed 4 colligative properties. First one was relative lowering in vapor pressure, second was elevation in boiling point, third depression in freezing point, and fourth was osmotic pressure. All these colligative properties help us to measure molar masses of the solute, but experimentally it is found that the masses which are calculated by using colligative properties, they are different from the calculated values, means their molar masses are not same as that of calculated by the colligative properties. They are abnormal. Abnormal means they are not same as that of calculated by all colligative properties. So these type of molar masses are known as abnormal molar masses. The basic reason behind this, all the colligative properties which we have discussed, we have taken 2 assumptions. First, your solution should be dilute. If the solution is dilute, then the molar masses calculated somewhat agree with the normal molecular masses. And second, solute, or you can say solute or solution, should be non-electrolytic in nature. Non-electrolytic. Electrolytic. Electro means electricity and lytic means breakup. So we assume that the solution which we have taken in case of all colligative properties, they are non-electrolyte in nature. Non-electrolyte in nature means they don't break up into ions. So the molar masses are normal, but in general we take solutions which are electrolytic in nature. Electrolytic in nature means, for example, this is some solvent, and when we add some solute into it, these molecules break up into their ions. So if there is breakage of the solution into ions, then number of particles will increase. If number of particle will increase, we have discussed colligative properties are directly proportional to the number of molecules. So if the number of particles increase, then the value of colligative property will increase, and if value of colligative property increase, all of the colligative properties we have discussed, all colligative properties, they are inversely proportional to the molar masses. So if the number of ions increase, or you can say number of moles increase, then colligative property will increase. If colligative property increase, because it is inversely proportional to the molar mass, so molar mass will decrease. So the molar mass will not be normal, it will be abnormal. ठीक है. So next, if we take the example of some solution in which association occur, this is the case of dissociation. Dissociation means breakup. For example, this one particle after going into the solution break up into two different particles. So this is called dissociation. Now we are taking the reverse case. We have two ions and after making the solution, it associate to form one single particle. So if it associates to form a single particle, then the number of particle decrease. If number of particle decrease, then colligative property will decrease. You have to, it is directly proportional to the number of moles but inversely proportional to the molar mass. In this case, number of particles increases, so colligative property increases, but colligative property is inversely proportional to the molar mass, so molar mass will decrease in case of dissociation. Now take the reverse case. This is association. So before the solution we have 2, after making the solution we have 1 particle. So number of particle decrease, so colligative property will decrease. If this decrease, this will increase. So depending upon the condition whether dissociation or association takes place, the molar masses will be different, and these type of molar masses are known as abnormal molar masses. So next, our last topic is, what do you mean by Van't Hoff factor? And this is again important for your 1 mark question in exams. What do you mean by Van't Hoff factor? Van't Hoff factor is denoted by small I, and it is simply, Van't Hoff factor, it is defined as the ratio of normal molar mass to the observed value of molar mass. So what is I? I can be defined as ratio means normal molar mass divided by observed molar mass. Observed means as calculated experimentally, or I can also be defined as ratio of observed colligative property to the normal colligative property, because we have learnt that molar masses and colligative properties are inverse to each other. Now in case of association means judna, okay? In case of association means 2 different particle will join up to form a single particle. If 2 particles join, it is called association. So number of particle will decrease, means colligative property will decrease. So in this case, in the case of association, value of I will be less than 1. Because देखो, in case of association, a molar mass of one molecule will increase, and if this molar mass increases, so if it increases, it will decrease. So I, value of I is less than 1. And in case of dissociation, reverse will occur. The value of I will be greater than 1. So it is very important for your exam. When the value of I is less than 1, greater than 1, and third is the case when it is equal to 1. Equal to 1 when there is no association and no dissociation. If the solution is non-electrolytic, then the I will be 1. So these are 3 important cases when the I is equal to 1, less than 1 or greater than 1, equal to 1 when there is no association, no dissociation. In case of association, the value of I is less than 1, and in case of dissociation, value of I is always greater than 1. So with this we have finished this unit solution. One numerical related to osmotic pressure we will discuss. So for example, you have numerical 200 centimeter cube of a solution of protein contains 1.26 gram of protein. The osmotic pressure of solution, such solution at 300 Kelvin is 2.57 into 10 raised to power minus 3 bar. Calculate the molar mass. Calculate the molar mass of protein given that R is equal to 0.083 liter bar mole inverse. So we have given 200 centimeter cube of solution of protein contains this much amount of protein. Osmotic pressure of such solution at this temperature is this one. We have to calculate the molar mass. So first, this centimeter cube tells us about, this is the volume of the solution because units are in cube, and centimeter cube is equal to milliliter. So this volume is equal to 200 centimeter cube, or you can say 200 milliliters. Then 1.26, this is the weight of solute, 1.26 gram. Osmotic pressure means pi is given 2.57 into 10 raised to power minus 3 bar, and temperature is given 300 Kelvin, and R is given 0.083 bar liter bar mole inverse. So one thing you have to notice, the value of R is given in terms of liters and we have volume in terms of milliliter. So first we will convert into liters by dividing 1000. Okay, so it will be 0.2 liters. So we have formula osmotic pressure is equal to CRT, where C is the concentration of the solution, or we can say pi is equal to N upon VRT, and this N is equal to mass upon molar mass. So this is our basic formula. So we have to calculate the MB. So we will take into this side. So MB will be equal to WB into R into T divided by pi into V. So pi will be equal, I am writing here, pi will be equal WB 1.26, R 0.083. We have given this value. Temperature 300 Kelvin divided by pi we have given 2.57 into 10 raised to power minus 3, and volume is given 0.2. So by calculating these values we can this is molar mass, MB. So this will be the molar mass of the protein molecule. So by using this formula we can calculate any variable. So with this numerical we have finished solution. So this is all about.